Okay, here we go. So, good morning and thank you all for coming. My name is Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant News, which is a trade newspaper for the restaurant industry. Uh, the purpose of this meeting is not to sell each other on our products per se, although sometimes that happens, but it's to educate each other as to what we do so that when we go out to see a client or have a Zoom meeting with a client, uh, we feel confident in recommending each other because we know that we're a quality company, quality person, and that there won't be any problem with coming back to us by recommending anybody in the group. And we're sort of a self-regulating entity. What we do at the meeting is we go around the room. We'll ask you to give us your name, your company name, what your company does. And at the end of each introduction, feel free to ask questions to the presenter. We try to keep it casual here. And what I do ask is to keep your phone lowered, keep the volume lowered. And the other thing that I do ask is that when you come to our meeting, please schedule yourself for 1 hour so that the person speaking last still has a full house to talk to and doesn't feel slighted at the end. And it's just a question of when they arrive and when they come on, so it's not fair to that person. Feel free to invite other vendors to the group, and also feel free to invite restaurateurs. In our Friday group, we had, last week we had a Chief Executive Officer of Capriati's Sandwich, which is opening 12 restaurants in Florida. So he came to meet everybody. And it's like a little trade show for him because he gets to see everybody in the group and see if we can use anybody. At the end of this meeting, I will send everybody in attendance a spreadsheet with all the contact information so that you don't have to frantically write down information here now. I will send it to you. Any information you'd like to put into the chat, feel free to do so. And I guess we're off and running. So Steve, because you've done this before, let's start with you so that everybody sees what it is that we do, and take it away.
Sometimes I wonder about what I do myself. I'm Steve Whitehill. I'm with Anchor Business Advisors. We are business brokers, and we help people buy and sell businesses. I like to give an example of the kinds of things we have available for sale. And today I found a C-store and restaurant, in fact, that did $1.1 million in sales. It's a 50-year-old company. It makes $160,000, and the asking price is $390,000. And what's interesting about these things is you don't need necessarily a lot of money to buy them. So first of all, the purchase price it sounds frankly a little high to me, but is just about 2.5 times what the company makes. And if you were to get an SBA loan, you in fact would be able to buy this for about $40,000 to $80,000 down payment. So you can put yourself into a nice business without really a tremendous amount of capital. You know, I like to say what we really do is we help people live the life they want, meaning that people who are looking to sell a business are frequently transitioning into retirement. And so we change an asset, a non-liquid asset, into cash. For those people who are either in transition or looking to go out of their normal environment and do something and make some money, we give them the opportunity to earn that. And nothing like buying an existing business because it's already working and you're already making money. So your investment turns into cash, so to speak, right away. Steve Whitehill, Anchor Business Brokers.
Thank you. I wanted to mention that this is a fairly new group. This is our fourth or fifth meeting, and of course, people are able to come, and people are not able to come on a particular day. In our group on Friday, we average 20 to 24 people at the group, and this group will grow to that as well. I have every anticipation that will happen because we have a lot of interest to it. So thanks again for coming. Marilyn,
Yes.
tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you.
Sure. My name is Marilyn Perlman. The name of my company, which is 40 years old, is Atlanta Cause Marketing and PR. We connect businesses and nonprofits for the good of humanity and marketing. So we use social media and publicity as vehicles in that connection, so that both a nonprofit and a business, a restaurant or a country that wants tourism promoted, can get it promoted, but also do good in the process. Because when nonprofits and businesses work together, ultimately they get a lot more PR for both of them and do a lot of good. I've worked with restaurants like Copeland's of New Orleans, here in Atlanta, the Ministry of Tourism of the government of the Bahamas, and a lot of others. And I'm looking for clients, and with the more clients, with the virtual nature of what we do now, we can work with anybody across the world, as I've done in the past and continue to do. And so I'm always looking for clients.
And okay, would it necessarily is a restaurant a good client for you?
Pardon?
Is a restaurant the kind of client that you're looking for now?
No, not really. Just any that would be interested in cause marketing, particularly restaurants that have a good heart.
So you're talking about a lot of the restaurant chains that actually donate and work with nonprofit organizations, even the brand new ones.
Right. And that are not getting adequate credit for doing so. I mean, just because you make a donation, most people don't know about it. The world doesn't know about it if you don't promote it. So if you're able to do the donation, but also publicize it both on your social media and in press releases, and not just the business doing that, but the nonprofit, that gets the word out and does a lot of good, and again, publicizes like crazy. And I think the media is more interested in a nonprofit story, a story about a nonprofit with the business as part of it, than they are just any old story about your menu and your chef, frankly, right, today. So that's what I try to do.
Okay, well, I will get your email from Howard as he sends out a sheet after each of these meetings of everyone that attended, and I will send you a personal email for an invitation for a press release.
Great, thank you very much.
Because we have thousands and thousands and thousands of readers companies and corporations, and it's not just the individual restaurants. So happy to do that for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And that's also available to everybody in the group. That if you have information about your company, whether it be a client that you just got, or a new hire that your company made, or even if you painted your building purple, it doesn't matter. You want to keep the name of your company in the forefront of the readers. So it's open and available to you. All you have to do is send us a 50 to 75 word paragraph with a copy of a photograph of the subject, and we're happy to publish that for you.
Thank you.
So Lisa, tell us what you do and how we can help.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning. Lisa Stoller with CertaPay. We are a full service payroll and human resource outsourcing firm. One of my specialties, not just this year, but for the past 20 years, has been in the restaurant arena. We have clients that, have a small breakfast shop or a sandwich shop. And then we have clients that have, 20, 30, 100, 200 locations. So we kind of go across the map as far as the restaurant industry goes. Something that many groups fall into is having a lack of human resources inside their organization when it comes to hospitality. The very, very large restaurant groups will have somebody in an HR capacity, but believe it or not, I have a client with over 30 locations. We are their HR department for them. So it's our job to keep them in compliance. As you can imagine, with everything COVID, whether it was a restaurant or not, they were like, what do we do with everybody? So we were able to really talk them off the ledge, for lack of a better term, and say, okay, do this with your employees. Here's how you can furlough. Here's how you bring them back. What should you do bringing them back? So it's somebody doesn't necessarily have to have us doing their payroll or having their payroll service with us to get the HR, but when the two go hand in hand, we're able to add on some help, meaning, posting job positions for them, using our applicant tracking system, electronic onboarding. We integrate with almost every POS system on the market. There's a couple out there that just don't have that open architecture where they allow for an export on their side, but most of them we can interface with, so the business unit owner or the GM doesn't have to pull in timekeeping files. And then Restaurant 365 is a system a lot of the larger groups use. We interface with that too on the backside. So we love the hospitality industry. We offer that white glove service where we're not a large company like ADP or Paychex. So, we're not tiny either, but we're able to give that white glove service to all of our clients, whether they have 5 employees or 5,000 employees. So that's what we do in a nutshell.
That's big.
Thank you for having me too.
Well, thank you for coming. How was your meeting last week?
35 of us all together. That's why I'm glad this is Zoom. I did a couple meetings Zoom yesterday and the day before, because there was a bunch of people under the age of 30 sitting near me. So I figured, let's be safe. But it was really nice. It was our first kickoff in 2 years for the sales organization, and it was done really well. We all took a lot of part in the presentations, so it was good. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Michelle, hi. Tell us who you are and what you do and how we can help.
Okay. So I'm the president and owner of a company called Menu Men, which my father and grandfather started in 1968. So we've been around for 53 years. We specialize in the hospitality industry with started out just menus. So we did graphic design. We do printing with offset and digital presses. And then as things grew in the 70s, we do more menu covers, so customizing covers. So we have a whole team of women that hand turn all the books. And more in the 80s, 90s, and especially in the 2000s, we do wood, we do acrylic, custom leather, belt size leather. So really just specialty customized menus. And with that, my background was marketing. So we started taking more of the brand concept with our restaurants. So not just doing their menus, because the menu really is who they are in a glance, but then portraying that into their website, helping them with their social media content. You know, a lot of chains have multiple marketing arms to pull from, but a lot of independents with even up to like 10 locations, they don't have that dedicated staff. So then they contract with us and we'll do their social media and their email blasts and, you know, put in the Facebook pixels to make sure that, you know, it's all cohesive and they're getting the traction they need through Google. And that's really what's helped us during COVID, actually, because as everyone knows, there's not so many menu covers. We do a lot of single-use menus, a lot of QR codes, but that's not really enough. So the social media side of it and helping, you know, keep our customers out there and known and what, you know, what in how they're getting their food. So some of my people have started their own delivery service so that the customers don't have to pay such a high price with the online ordering of Uber Eats and, you know, Grubhub and all of these, and just helping, you know, my clients get to that next level. So we even do like banners of reopening or social distancing, floor decals or windows or posters. So basically we help our clients anything they need branding wise with the print, design, and social media.
Where are you located?
We're in Miami, Florida.
You're in Miami.
So we're in Miami and we do everything in-house. So it's not that I have a shell of a company and I outsource here, outsource there. Everything is done on Menu Men property, which I was laughing because during COVID, we did paint our building and I do have a new blue stripe now. I always say that, you know, COVID was you know, it was a hard time, obviously, but Menu Men's never been cleaner, never been more organized. Our floors are all swept. We have all new, you know, walls of painted white and pretty, and trying to make the most of it.
So would you consider your company a printing company or a menu cover and menu company?
All of it.
All of it.
So obviously we started out just as printing. Most menus were just printed with a Patchco cover back in the, you know, 60s and 70s. So we have in-house design staff, but I actually have two different type of in-house design staff. So I have graphic designers dedicated to print, meaning a menu, it could be a flyer, it could be check presenters, you know, anything that we need just printing, banners, posters. And then I have another team that specializes in graphic design, but digitally, which is very different. So in that you can take the same concept and the same look and feel, but how they're implemented is, so they're different teams. And we do have, like I said, the offset presses and the digital presses as well.
Do you do the printing of the menu placemats, that kind of stuff?
Yes. Well, that's been our you know, like a one color, like a one color single use menu is basically the bread and butter right now with most of, you know, and also taking my 4-color prints and converting that into a 1 color so that it's more economical for our clientele. They're not paying for, you know, you need to be paying about 4 cents a menu, not 54 cents a menu. And that makes a big difference over time.
Yeah. It's amazing. You know, every once in a while, I venture out for dinner and you see people handing us the laminated menu where they really should be using the one-time use printed menu.
It was mandatory and people are getting a little more lax these days and accepting that laminated menu. I would tell you if your restaurant that you're going to offers a QR code to refuse a laminated menu and ask for the QR code, because lamination is porous and so it has tiny little divots in it that you can't really clean off. Right. I print on PVC, and our PVC, you can actually take a Clorox wipe and wipe it down, and that's safe. That's okay. Acrylic and PVC, you're fine with, but don't do lamination. I had clients, you know, saying, oh, we can't afford the, you know, single-use menus. Can we just go to lamination? And I make them sign a waiver if they do that, because I don't want to be responsible for them not treating their customers as they should.
Right. Okay, thanks for that information. Aaron,
Hey
tell us
guys,
who you are, what you do, how we can help you.
my name is Aaron Cardelli. I'm the co-founder of Wasso. Wasso is a laundry and dry cleaning on demand, and we focus on business side of it. So restaurants, small hotels, and venues, party venues, with everything basic. So towels for the kitchen towels or the bar towels, even the mops or tablecloth, napkins, everything that needs to be dry clean or laundry, we take care of it. We actually have 4 trucks on the road all day, every day, 7 days a week. And we work from 7 a.m. to like 5 p.m. So we are definitely very personal. We work on your schedule. You let when and where you need us to be, the recurrency, and we make it happen. We don't have any contracts, and we work by pounds.
What's your turnaround time?
Depending on the quantities and on the customers, we actually work very direct with the customer. We try to be as personal as we can with every business. We know that every business don't have the same amount of linen, but anything between 24 hours or 2 days.
So if a busy bar on South Beach
Right.
gives you the bar towels to clean, do you provide them clean ones when you pick up the dirty ones?
Yes, we actually will have them either big stock if they don't have any, like right now with a small restaurant, and we just walked in while they were opening, and they didn't have, so we actually supply all of them. We supply them with all of the towels for the bar, for the kitchen, and for the waiters. So
Okay.
yeah, we do that. And their schedule is for us to pick up every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And when we pick up, we drop off.
Great.
And on demand, so you can use our app, and with the app, follow everything. Is super easy. And sometimes it's a headache. And with our app, the billing is seamlessly. You get an invoice. You can get reports on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. So it makes it very easy for restaurants and their accounting team.
Great. And what territory do you cover?
We're in Florida, in South Florida. We
Right.
cover from Homestead to Aventura. It's a fairly large area, but
Right.
yeah.
That's a large area.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well,
We have our locations. We have one in Kendall and one in Doral, and we're thinking of opening a facility like on the Edgewater around Wynwood area.
That would be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
that's the next step.
we certainly have a lot of potential customers in that area with all the hotels and the tablecloth restaurants. As soon as we get out of this COVID nonsense, I'm sure we'll be better off. All right, thank you. Terry, tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you. Like I don't know.
Hello, my name is Terry Appel. I'm actually Howard's wife, and I work here and manage our office at Today's Restaurant News. And what I also do is take care of the team that assembles the leads report that come out monthly, which is my pet peeve. It's my baby. It's my, it's so important. We provide a list of up and coming restaurants, up and coming night bars. There's a lot of hookah lounges, things coming into Florida, chains. I get them every day, being with this, having this business for 25 years. Everyone knows us, many PR firms, many people that are in the industry. And then Howard's extensive background in all phases of restaurant construction, sales, repping, and then, all the way down to the newspaper. So we have a multiple resource that just really helps a lot. So the girls do their thing. They get the leads to me by the 1st. I have them formatted and I get them out to our customers by the 9th of each month in an Excel spreadsheet. And that Excel spreadsheet can be sorted by zip code. It can be sorted by city. If you're, we have people like Gordon Food Service, Cheney Brothers, equipment companies. Oh goodness, there are people that like auctioneers that take the list and they
PepsiCo.
use them. Yeah, PepsiCo, and they use them for the past years, and they call, many will call linen services. They call to find out if they're happy with their clients, with their service, with the services they're getting. And many of them are not. Some are out of business, you know, from last year or the year before. They're out of business, but other ones have come in. So many times they'll actually find a new restaurant with that same phone number. It's hilarious. They'll call and go, oh, I didn't get that, but I got a new guy. And they get the clients. So it's actually a monthly leads report that we supply, in addition to offering each of you the chance to send us a press release on your company. And please submit a logo or photo in a high-res JPEG or TIFF or PDF, something that we can convert into the newspaper. And that newspaper is read by, Howard will tell you, I have no idea how many people are on our list, but there are a lot.
12.
So anyway, so that's what I do. I handle the leads report, which is, for me, that is a full-time job. Thank you. Any questions, send me an email. If you want a sample, send me an email.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to tell them. I do this so much, I forget. We have the names of the owners, the phone numbers, their email addresses, which could be a nice collection if you do your own email blast. Addresses, the stage of construction that they're in, what it used to be. So you're getting a full, you go through the lines, you have a full description of what that is.
We got to get Steve information as to which ones are thinking of selling.
I know. And we get those too. So that's good.
We got to do that.
So Terry, you sell a sales lead monthly database? Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's actually to everyone else, to the salespeople, it's $489 for a year. For you guys, it's $429 if you're in the group. That is for a year. So you would get one report 12 times for that price, $429.
And how many leads normally do you find that you get a month?
Well, I have it open right now, actually, and it's somewhere between 300 and 400.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And of the brand new ones, not the carryovers, and you have a big line that says everything above this line was not on the last report. Of those, there are about 40 to 50 brand new leads. And then the ones on the bottom, okay, they just signed their leases last month. Now I've got an owner's name. Now I've got a phone number. I've got girls digging for this information. So this is everybody you're trying to get a hold of, I've got on this one page.
What happens is, like in January, she'll get information that a restaurant is opening. So that'll go into the new opening section. I'm sorry, that'll go into the under construction section. And it stays there until it opens, and then it goes into the new openings. But all along that voyage, we try to get new information, maybe an email address, a new phone number, or a contact, or a partner, information that you could use to make the call.
And then once we have the full information, and after it stays in for a couple of months, I usually take it out And if somebody new buys it, I go ahead and we'll send them a past report so they get the benefits of everything. So they're not left out of something that's coming, you know, that might be their biggest client. I don't know, but
Okay. If you'll send me an email, I would like to subscribe to that.
absolutely. Absolutely. Just, absolutely.
What's great about it is that every company that I've come across in both of our groups and over the years, they need the information in different stages of life in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that we used to have an advertiser. They were three brothers. One was a construction company, one was a restaurant equipment dealer, and one was an auctioneer. So we got them from beginning to end.
Right.
So, but the list is applicable to certain companies in certain stages of the life of the restaurant and of the company. Because a cleaning company is not interested in a restaurant coming out of the ground, although they should be. They should be promoting to them so that.
Well, they could also buy last year's leads, and they could also, and that's what a lot of people do. I have Cisco Food Service. A lot of their salespeople do that for, you know, their suppliers as well. So the bigger companies, and we're in with the Florida Restaurant Association. They buy these leads, and that's how they get a lot of their members. And we are a member of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association. So that, if that helps at all, and we always have a booth at all the shows for the past 20 years. So yes, you're more than welcome, and just send me your email address and I'll make sure you get it.
Okay, thank you. I guess it's up to me, as Steve says. I am, again, Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of today's Restaurant News. I've been in the food service industry pretty much most of my life in some form or another. I was a gopher, a dishwasher, a manufacturer of restaurant equipment, a food service equipment dealer, a manufacturer's rep, and 25 years ago, this year, we started the newspaper. And I guess it's a milestone to make 25 years in the publishing business. Up until 2018, we were in print, and now we are exclusively digital. So what comes with the digital part of it? Well, first, let me tell you that we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year with a couple of special events and contests. And we ran a contest in January to see who could guess the amount of emails that we sent out in the year 2020. One of our members of the Friday group made a guess of 3 million. He was the winner because he was the closest, but he was still far off. The real answer was 5.5 million emails. And why is that important? Because we provide an email blast program for vendors. So I'll just take, for example, Michelle. If you want to reach our database with the information that you print menus and you do marketing for restaurants, branding for restaurants, you would provide us with a finished JPEG file. We would then send it out to our database, and that puts you in front of 15,000 plus restaurants in one click of a button, rather than running around the streets calling on people door to door, as a lot of us did prior to COVID. And you know that if you do that, you're probably hitting at the max 10 calls a day. Here, we're doing 15,000 in the click of a button. The open rate on the email that we send out is anywhere between 5 and 13%, which is very good considering the fact that the people that we're sending to do not know who you are. what we offer is a follow-up to that email where you could send, let's say, for example, we send out 15,000 and 10% open. So 1,500 people have opened it. You can then send an email out to those 1,500 people offering them a special. So like first time buyer, get 10% off your first order, something like that. The open rate on that jumps up between 40 and 70%, because those are the people who expressed an interest in the first place. So that when they get the second one, they want to read it. And what we've done, because the world is using a lot of videos now, we now offer a video email blast where you provide us with a link to a video that you might have that might be stationed on YouTube, and we incorporate that into the email blast as well. And the open rates on that start at 10% and go up depending on the product. So it's a very, very intense kind of marketing that we do. In addition to that, we also post the e-blast on all of our social media sites, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I have 16,000 plus contacts on LinkedIn, and they all have the opportunity to see your email blast as well. So basically, there's a potential for 150,000 eyeballs to see your information in a week, which is a lot different than 10 a day.
Yeah.
What else do we do, Terry?
What else do we do? We hold 2 meetings a week. We were live when, before COVID, we would meet at City Fish Market. We had our private room and waiters and a tremendous group of people. I don't know.
And then, you know, we
just
also have
get
the
people
website.
business. We get people business. That's what we do.
We have website banners, and you can also put your video on our website. Whatever we need to do to help you, we're open to suggestions. Which brings up another issue. I want to ask you a question. I call myself a benevolent dictator when it comes to these groups. So is Wednesday at 11 o'clock convenient, or would there be a better time? The one we hold on Friday is 11 o'clock, and it seems to be fine. We used to hold them at 12 at lunch in person. So think about it. If you can, I'm open to suggestions, but I think this is
Personally, I prefer mornings.
I'm sorry?
Personally, I prefer first thing in the morning, because then I don't have anything else interrupting my day.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Now, by first thing,
I don't get up till 10.
What time, Bob?
Anything from, I go to meetings as early as 7 a.m., but I prefer not. It's not my favorite. But from, something that meets from 8 o'clock on, because it doesn't interfere, it doesn't screw up the rest of my day.
So you know what I'll do, Steve? I'll send a letter out to the database for the group 2 asking for preferences, and let's see what comes back.
Yeah.
Let's keep it.
I'll make an
Democratic.
observation. Generally, Friday mornings and Monday mornings, nobody has meetings on. Nobody has networking meetings on. At least I only have one on Monday, once a month or twice a month. But generally, people don't meet Mondays or Fridays.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that might be a suggestion.
That's just an observation. I don't know. That's a personal. I'm not sure how true that is, but I think that is reasonably accurate.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or more information that they would like to give? Normally we try to keep the meetings to an hour. When we have a full board, we usually give people 2 minutes to talk and then move on to the next. We will grow to that.
Howard, if we're throwing it open, I just have a question to the group, what they would think.
Sure.
As you know, I sent out not as many emails as you did, but I managed to send out 15,000 last month. It was, as you may have heard, it was suggested this morning that I append to the email a little blurb on some businesses available, or a business that's available, because I historically have avoided that because I didn't want to make my emails too salesy, frankly. I wanted, my emails have been tended to be, this is interesting business information or charitable information, as the case may be, and hopefully someone will take that and work, contact me. But I thought it was an interesting suggestion. I don't know how people feel about mixing sort of like an article on PPP, and by the way, I have a business for sale at the bottom. Or, gee, this charity is doing this, and by the way, I have a business for sale at the bottom. Sorry about that.
Ask Marilyn. She's full of charities.
Marilyn, do you have any opinion? Or Michelle, do you have any opinion? You do marketing and so on.
I mean, what I always say is for every
Yes.
5 emails that you, I always try to do, how do I say it? Make yourself an expert in it. So sometimes your email is giving people pieces of advice, like you were talking about, building a business or, going to the next level, or buying a business that's already profitable is much easier than starting your own. Something that's going to help the end user trust you.
Right.
And then like after 2 or 3 emails that you're trying to educate and help them, it's become a warm client now, and they're going to be more receptive to getting your sales approach.
That's true.
The only differential, that's what I have been doing. I haven't sent out an email saying I have this business available kind of routine. The only difference is what would be if I did the informational one, as I normally do, and put a couple of lines. It doesn't have to be a very big thing at the bottom. As an example, sort of, if you get that far down in the article, you'll see it. You think that's too much?
Yeah, I mean, I think people, let's say right now there's a lot of content about Black History Month and different, so if you had an opportunity that would align with that type of message, you would talk about honoring Black History Month, or maybe, a local leader that, in our past that's made a difference in the Miami or Fort Lauderdale community, and then putting in businesses that are for sale in that kind of thought process. I think that would be a nice tie-in message with
an interesting approach. Fortunately or unfortunately, we don't know if the businesses are, by way of example, Black owned or not. It's not information we capture or frankly are concerned about.
But it could be in more in the areas.
Yeah, but it doesn't, but it still wouldn't be necessarily Black owned. It wouldn't necessarily do very well. It's not unusual. I mean, there are a lot of businesses in Black areas that are really not Black related in any way, Black owned for Blacks or anything else. So they're just there for many reasons. So that's just an example that you broke it up.
Right, but I'm just saying you can talk about like a message and then tying in your what you're selling to that message.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's an interesting thought. Have to think about that. So, thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any comments, thoughts, questions, suggestions, ideas? Okay, well, I'm going to thank you all for coming. I'm going to turn off the recording now. If you'd like to stick around, I'll keep the page open